Hello, exploring computer science students. Welcome to our second HTML tutorial. Really enjoyed your assignments last week, seeing what other HTML tags you guys found floating around the interwebs. Some of those I'd never even heard of before because they were also pretty obscure, something that not many people would even use, but you found them, so go you. We're going to do a second tutorial just on HTML. After spring break, we're going to jump into CSS and a little bit of JavaScript, not much of JavaScript. Remember, your final assignment is going to be working with the group that you are in to build a website for your business completely from scratch. You can't use a template or anything else online. So pay attention to these. These will help you do that assignment. And as we do these, think about what you want for your group. So remember, your participation points this week are to follow along with this. If you're not already, go to Replit, and this is the page you should see. If you don't see this, go ahead and click whatever's in this gray oval up here, gray circle, it's not an oval, and it will take you to the home page. By now, HTML, CSS, JavaScript should be one of your options right here. If it is not, you guys will have to click the blue button up here and go from the language list. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm just going to say create new REPL. Do that with me. Create a brand new REPL. Do not save over what you sent me last week. It is always a good idea to start anew. So start a new REPL. It's going to be HTMS, and this one is going to be your name, and then I want you to say HTML2. Is that clear? So make sure you name it your name HTML2 so I can keep track of whose is whose. That'll be like putting your name on your paper, and then click Create REPL. And once again, they are going to auto-populate. This is called an IDE. They're going to auto-populate a bunch of stuff that you don't need yet. So once again, delete lines 4 through 7. Just delete them entirely, and then delete the script line right here. We'll come back to that later. So you should have the doc type declaration, HTML, a head, a body, and an end HTML. For today's assignment, we don't even really need the head, so you can leave it there. If you want to do a title like last time, then you can. But if you don't, then you don't have to. My awesome website, I'll just put a title there, but you don't need that. Today, what we're going to go over is hyperlinks and lists. Those are the two things we are going to go over today. Hyperlinks and lists. By now, you should all know what a hyperlink is. If you don't know what a hyperlink is, that's okay. It is just something that links you to another website. It's something that creates a link to another page. So I'm going to go down to the body here. We're down in the body, and I'm just going to show you. We use hyperlinks by doing what's called an anchor tag or an A tag. It just is an A. And what it means is I am anchoring this section of my web page to somewhere else. I'm dropping an anchor and I am tying this part of my website to somebody else's website. So with YouTube, we embed it. Embedding is putting someone else's website inside of your website. That's called embedding. Anchoring means I am linking this to somewhere else. I'm tying it down and throwing an anchor into something else. So anchor is the tag. The attribute is href, and you just use an equals sign, and you just type wherever you want that section to take your user, the person on your website. So right now, href equals, we're just going to take it to google.com right there. End the tag, and then whatever comes between that and the stop tag, remember tags come in two parts, a start and a stop. This one starts the href, the reference, this one ends it, is what they can click on. So if I say click here, and then I say, okay, stop the reference right there, and now when I hit play, it will give me a click here, and notice it puts it in the blue with the underline, like a typical hyperlink, and I click there. Ideally, it should take me to Google, but REPL does not have that capability, so they'll say file not found. So then we say return. So that's kind of an unfortunate thing. If you can test this out with other IDEs online, but REPL doesn't have the capacity to test it, but I still want it in your code. So href will take you to some other website, and we'll just say click here, And when you click there, it will take you there. So that's easy. That's an anchor tag. You can also create a link to another page in your website. So let's talk about how websites work real quick. In a website, you have an index. Your index is your home page. When somebody types in www.u.com, the index is the page that they will first see. So whenever you hit play, it's the index.html file that will load. Whatever you want your home page to be has to be named index.html. However, most websites have more than one page, right? Any website you go to has more than one page. In fact, I'm going to go to LCA's website right now. It's lcaeagle.org, right there. And what's going to load is the index file for lcaeagle.org. This is LCA's index file right here. This is their index.html, cool little video, cool little logo. But LCA has tons of other pages. We call these all subdomains, meaning they are below the main domain. Your index file is the domain. These are called subdomains. One of the questions I'm going to ask you, how many subdomains do you want on your business project's website? I'm asking you how many pages you want. So notice we probably have 100 subdomains. Isn't that crazy? Look at all that. So this is our index, and then to create a subdomain, at least in REPL, we just add a file. And I'm going to call this page2.html. And I created another HTML file. So this is my index. This is my page 2. I'm going to go ahead and copy all this over. I'm just going to copy this over to page 2. If you're following along, do that at home. And then I'm going to go back to my index, so don't miss this step. We're going back to the index, and I'm going to create another anchor tag, but this time, instead of having it take me to Google, by the way, this should be in quotation marks, that was my bad, I'm just going to say page2.html. And as long as page 2 is in the same folder as page 1, as the index file, then this will go automatically to page 2. If page 2 is somewhere else on your computer, somewhere else on the internet, it won't go there. But as long as it's in the same folder, it will go there. And I'm going to say, click here to go to page 2. And then I'm going to end my anchor tag. And then, just to make sure I'm testing this out right, I'm going to click over here, delete all this. In fact, actually, I'm going to replace Google with index.html, so that'll create a link back to my homepage. And then I'm going to go up here and create a heading tag and just say welcome to page 2. And just for funsies, I'm going to make it the color blue. So I'm going to do a font tag, and then here I'm going to end that font style. And now when I play, it should say click here to go to page 2. And then welcome to page 2. I made a mistake up here. When I copied this, I didn't copy that beginning guy there. So notice it loads the index page first. The index page is always what loads first. But when I go to page 2, it takes me to page 2. And if I click here, it should have taken me back to the index page, which it did. So that's how you do hyperlinks. That's how you do links. Another cool thing, guys, I'll teach you real quick, is you can link a picture. So I can actually link a picture. So I'm going to say href equals, oh, I'm still on page 2. Go back to page 1, everybody. Go back to your index page. Up here, I'm going to do an image tag outside of my body, and I'm going to say href equals page2.html, and then instead of putting text, I'm going to put a picture. And my picture will go back to, let's see, if I click here, here we go, copy image address. So I'm going to put LCA's logo right here. Copy the image address. Remember, you always want to copy the image address. And there we go. So now, and then end my anchor tag. So right here, I've created an anchor tag that links this picture to page 2. I've put the LCA logo there and then ended my anchor tag. So when I load, notice how my cursor changes. You guys see that? Cursor changes. See that? See that? Isn't that fun? See that fun? You're having fun, admit it. And when I click this, I'm on page 2. And you can click here to go back. So isn't that cool? So you can even put an anchor tag you could put a picture between an anchor tag to link a picture. I just think that's really fun. So in the interest of time, let me move on. So I'm still on my index page, still in the heading. Next, I'm going to teach you guys how to do lists. Lists are pretty easy. They're pretty simple. So I wouldn't worry about, so just follow along and they're not hard. There's two types of lists. There's an unordered list and an ordered list. The difference for you guys right now in your heads, there's actually a major computer programming difference. If you take some of my other computer classes, I'll explain it to you. But here, the only difference is unordered lists is a bullet point and ordered lists are numbered. So, and I'll give you examples of each. So I've just begun an unordered list, and I also have to begin each list item. LI stands for list item. So list item, so that's what it stands for. And then here's my second list item. There we go. And then I'll just do a third one just for the sake of it. Third list item. Okay, now when I run this, we still have all that, but notice I have a bullet point list down here. That is an unordered list. Once again, we have to tell it when to stop too. And everything in HTML, you have to tell it when to start and when to stop. When to start, when to stop. So ordered list just numbers it. That's the only difference between the two. So here's an ordered list. And then remember, we have to tell it when to stop. There we go. Ordered list. So now we have a bullet point list and a numbered list. So that's how you do a list. It's pretty easy. So keep on keeping on. If you guys have any questions, reach out to me. I am available for Zoom calls and I can share my screen. So if you get really stuck on some of these assignments, we can do a call and share screens together. So until then, have fun, play around, and keep your stick on the ice.